Hey Saber fans, I present to you my Roman Props Graflex from episode 4, revised. Auxiliary is now slide tab. Proffie board, obviously.
Lord Vader.
NeoPixel. You'll notice the sound venting is quite a bit better. One of my favorites, that nice flicker cyan. Nice loud. So you'll notice the sound venting is actually somewhat decent now. Before it was quite muffled. Well, I used every method that I had found online from multiple people in Saber groups to a method that I had thought about doing and actually talked with somebody about doing it, and it gave me a little bit of advice. I thought, okay, yeah, I had the right idea then. So, as any other Graflex addict knows, sound venting on a replica Graflex is a bit of a challenge because this is all solid all the way down. There's no sound venting whatsoever other than in the clamp. So you have the sound pushing from here all the way up through the clamp. So what I did was I drilled holes underneath the grips towards the bottom, underneath where the speaker is. By the way, using a Goth 3 Designs chassis, 31mm bass speaker from Saber Essential, a 26-650 battery, beefy. There's the Proffie board for SD card access, micro SD, recharge port, and a blade matching LED. As well as it's a power on indicator as well. So insert kill key after I drop it. It's got too much stuff in my hands. And it's gone. So,
show me my place in all this.
Sound venting is also underneath the D-ring. You can kind of see, it's kind of hard to see, there's a washer in between that hollowed out rivet and the pommel cap. It's a very thin washer, but there are also holes all around where that rivet is. So the washer pushes against it, and it creates a small opening. You can actually see the holes a little better this way. There's quite a few holes down in there. What is it? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10 holes total with the hole that's going through the rivet. So this is from Skywampa on Etsy. He's out in the UK. I absolutely love those rivets. Now you'll notice, same issue as before, I wanted the clamp to be as tight as possible so it doesn't go easily. You got to kind of wiggle it in there a little bit. There you go. Beautiful. Nice orientation. 90 degrees from the glass eye. A New Hope config. Got that nice little painted in Graflex logo that Roman Props sells. I believe this is a Wanawanga. Or no, this is actually a Roman Props bubble strip. It's fantastic. This was actually one of his battle damaged ones. The the ones that were on sale for a ridiculously good price. It was like $100. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. So, the major defects that I've seen with this, for example, NeoPixel, obviously. Can't really see it because it's pretty deep. I use the Graflex shop blade holder, by the way, so it's a 1-inch blade. You have your brass tabs, your shine through eye, I hollowed that out. Auxiliary is on the side tab.
Hello there. Vengeance.
And like I was saying, the battle damaging I've seen more than anywhere else is up in this area. There's a little bit of chrome plating issues, like scuffing back and forth. The main issue I've seen, actually just lost a little more chrome plating from that. That's the biggest issue I've seen on this, is the chrome plating on the bottom half. You'll notice there's a lot of chipping going on there. You can see it really well right there. There's a lot of chrome plating chipping right there. I think that's where most of the battle damage was in this. You'll also notice that the finish on the cap is more of a shiny chrome versus a kind of a matte chrome, which is, I wouldn't really say a matte, but more like this chrome plating, which this is just super shiny. That's really it. I mean, whenever you got this on, you can't even see it. Eventually all that chrome plating will rub off eventually. I'm definitely planning on selling this now that I'm actually happy with how it turned out. I would consider this very worthy of somebody to own and appreciate. I know a lot of people want a New Hope Graflexes, and this is very, very accurate. There are some things that can be more accurate about it. For instance, you know, I used a 440 screw from a local hardware store for blade retention because the static one, the chrome plating is a little too shiny on it for it to be accurate, but it does sit flush, so that's good. The rivet for the beer tab is really well done. The beer tab is nice and flat. The finish on the red button is wonderful. The S-curve is nice. The plating on the S-curve is good too. It's not like a Corbett where it's just like line. Hate that crap. The rivet here has a socket head on it. Not accurate. And I think the washer in this, I noticed on my Graflex shop replica, and I believe even on the Maker Prop Studio replica, that it's more of like a brass washer. I'm guessing that's more accurate. I'm not sure. I think on my vintage it's the same way. The bunny ears are good. The clamp is great. The X and the G line up fantastic. The stamping is nice and spaced out. The lever is nice and smooth. I think that's the inaccuracy with that. Is if it's smoother, if it has holes in it or something like that. I don't know. The bottom, it's a Fulmer bottom. So, you know, the OG, the Fulmer. So, those vintage Fulmers sell for a crazy expensive price. I think the last one I've seen sell on eBay was like $700. I couldn't believe it. I mean, that is a lot. But think about that though. That is a piece of history. These are history. Replicas of 1930s. Not even my grandparents were, well, maybe my grandparents were alive then. But that is a lot of history that they have seen. My vintage, I mean, who knows what it's seen. It could have been taking pictures during one of the world wars. During, I don't know, the Dust Bowl. It could have been taking pictures of God knows what. I'm not a history major, so I don't know. Could have been taking pictures of anything. It's like, oh, women's rights. I don't know. I'm an engineer, not a history major. But yeah, big honking battery, 26,650. Should get over an hour of runtime. You know, standard 18,650 I think's about 45 minutes. With this, it's well over an hour. And if you don't care about aesthetically pleasing chassis, it's a good way to go. Another thing I like about Graflexes, the weight. Since they're a brass base model and then chrome plated, they got a real good weight to them, similar to MPPs. Brass body, chrome plating, oh, love it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, Saber fans. This has been quite a bit of a work in progress. And yeah, till the next time, may the force be with you always.